to be able to marry this person. So you can go along courting. But in dating, there's nothing like that. In engagement, it is the time where the two parents need to know each other. You make your intention known at that particular stage. And if there's anything obligation you have to perform within that time, you do before the final marriage. That is just the way I see the steps.
Pastor, I want you to add on this, but I also want you to come from the perspective of timing. Is there a length of time for how long courtship should go for, or engagement, or maybe dating, whatever it is? But as well, whatever you feel like you want to add to the whole idea of dating, courtship, and engagement.
I think to be able to comment positively on this, we need to clarify certain things. We need to clarify the definitions of each stages that have been put in place. I want to first of all take it from the fact that you said in the days of Rebecca and Isaac, somebody has to go and bring a wife for him. We want to say that because initially when God created man, we don't seem to know this God. And God has a way of now making himself known to us. So also we may not understand what it means for a man to now get hooked up to another woman. So it is the duty of God to teach them also to know how to come over the years. And permit me to say that we have really come over the years and gotten away from God, that now it is a matter of God. You have finished your tutelage session. There is no more teaching us again. We now know how to handle it. That's the level we are now. And as far as I can even go to, go to another terrain and say, God, don't worry about who I'm going to marry. I can even choose now, and I know how to identify that a man needs to get married. That is where we now come to the point of dating, where you now said, okay, there is always a way of knowing what is good and evil, and I want to try it out in the area of dating, because man, having left the prayers of God, kept on living by the standard of good or bad. So that's where dating comes in. It's also affected us in other areas of life, but because we are discussing in this area specifically, that's why I brought it down from eternity past to date in that area. And be as it may, that explains why men have nobody knows what God wants to say again. I want to do it myself. Let me go out and try this one and try that one and then be able to decide on what I want to do. That is why her definition is relevant. A serious relationship. That is why. When you go to the next level of maybe courtship, courtship is a way that, okay, now I have identified, maybe I'm able to, from the area of dating, I identified this one particularly. We now decided that, okay, let's go a little bit serious. And by the time you finish that level, you now say you want to go into the period of engagement. I want to quickly correct one thing now. What you define as engagement is not what we define as engagement. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, please do correct me. I guess here when we say, oh, I got an engagement ring last Thursday, that's when you see one man kneeling down at the shopping mall, right? Or at the cinema or the theater house, trying to slip one ring into one lady's hand. You call that engagement. Well, because of the seriousness or unseriousness attached to it, whichever way it goes, that is why it's so easy for them to pull out the ring and throw it away and say, I'm no longer interested. That's why. So we now go again, but in the term that she defined, if anybody go that far in her definition, that guy cannot come back anymore. You see, and that definition she gave to it tells me that, look, call your father, call your mother, let them come and meet both families to meet together and tell one another, look, we want to do engagement. So there are witnesses. So when you want to throw that ring away, you have to go and call all those witnesses again. That's more serious than what we do in North America. So maybe we'll have to put another stage there. There are an engagement between the male and the female and an engagement between families. They now go to the marriage proper. Be that as it may, all these stages, none of them should be anything beyond maximum of 2 years for a reason. Because if any of those stages, apart from marriage now, is allowed to linger for more than 2 years, there is tendency for the man to turn all the stages to trial and error.
What about the woman?
And there is, I'm sorry, when I say the word man now,
Yes.
I'm talking about
Okay.
both parties now. Okay, maybe I should say it's easier for both parties to just turn it to maybe a kind of serious affair. So when you go over the second, maximum of 2 years, if you want to go forward, you are going forward. If you are not going forward, you call it quit. Because and that is not to say that there are no exceptions to the rule. But that is what I always recommend for people. Because you don't want to allow the devil to mingle into your affairs. The devil has a way, there are several ways the devil can come in. You may not be able to discuss everything now, but maybe in the course of discussion we will get there. There are several ways the devil can come in, and you need to be able to guard against it. Let me rest my case there, in case I've not answered any other questions.
I believe a lot of points will come along as time goes on. And I mean, you guys, you definitely get your shots at these wonderful folks. So if I'm not doing a good job at representing what's on your mind, you know that you get your shot. Mommy Enikanolaye, when can I say I'm ready for marriage? What are the obligations? Financial obligations? Is there any academic obligation? And considering the fact that in the place I come from, there are parts of the country that's like 16-year-old, they go into marriage. So when can you actually say that you're ready for marriage?
Yes, when you're ready for marriage, in fact, before you get to that stage, it has different level and different aspects that has to be prepared before you can say you are ready for marriage. Physically, you can't be 12 years and say you are going into marriage. Academically, we know some people will definitely not go to school, so we can't say automatically. But at least you must have an income. You can't say you are going into marriage and you have no income. When you are married, you become a burden to your family, to friends, and so on. So if you know you don't have an income, don't get married. Emotionally, you know there are some people that even their age, they may be old, they may be ready, but emotionally they are not prepared. They are not matured in mind. They are not matured in attitude. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You might see a 23-year-old girl that is more mature than a 26-year-old girl, the way they handle emotionally and everything. So you have to consider your physical being. That means it has to do with your age. You have to be properly developed. All your ovary, circles, your womb must be prepared to carry a baby. You know, if those things are not biologically, if you are not at that stage, you cannot get married. You shouldn't. That is what I will give an example. You know, there are some culture when they get married as early as 14 years or so, they end up with diseases. Their bladder will break down. They will not be able to control, you know, their menses, you know, continue to run throughout the year. That is the effect of getting married early. So you need to be physically developed. Then income, if you have no income, please don't. Don't say the church will take care, the pastor will take care. Don't do that. Emotionally too, you must be prepared. Because you have a lot of things emotionally you have to take care of when you are married. If you are not prepared, don't do it, because you are definitely going to break down. So I think these three are more important.
Yeah. Pastor, I like it.
But don't wait till when you are rich anyway, because you will never get there.
Pastor, I like you to add to this, and I want you to focus on the emotional part. But any other thing that you feel you need to be ready before you get married. I think the emotional part